But still some of the students are enter with their names. You please go back and enter with your register numbers. If I find names, then I won't allow into the classroom, Mama. Again and again I'm telling that those who are having names, you please enter with your register number. Otherwise, you please wait in your wait room. I won't allow into the classroom. Right. So, good morning to one and all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay, right. Okay. So please put off your mics and okay, once again, it's a very good morning to one and all. So in the last class, we tried to learn some important steps regarding of your connecting rod, the design procedure. So in the last class, we already completed the design procedure of connecting rod. Now in this class, we try to find out the solutions. That means we try to design according to given data of that particular connecting rod, right? So same as I told you that in your previous class, you just simply follow the design procedure what we have already discussed. So same those design procedures are applied, and those design principles are applied as it is for your problematic point of view also. That means this is a design procedure. So whatever the data that you are supposed to find out, up to that point you are supposed to apply in your design principle. In your design principle, that is sufficient. That means, suppose if they ask for, just simply calculate. If they ask for, just simply calculate what are the dimensions of your connecting rod. Just simply have to put your effort up to only dimensions of the connecting rod, that is sufficient. Suppose if they ask to find out up to your what is the dimension of crank pin and piston pin, so that you try to apply your principle up to your dimensions of crank pin and piston pin. Right? You are having 4 steps in your connecting rod. In your connecting rod, you are having 4 steps. First one is the dimension of a cross section. Second one is the dimensions of your crank pin and piston pin. And third one is you try to find out the size of the bolt or something. You are having third step. And fourth step is you are having thickness. So these are the 4 steps that are very, very important in order to determine the dimensions of your connecting rod. You just simply follow those 4 steps according to your given problem. So whatever the things that are supposed to find out, up to those points you are required to determine. But in this class, I tried to cover almost all 4 steps, right? I tried to cover almost all 4 steps problem, right? So that it is easy for you in your examination or while you are practicing, so that you can apply your principle according to that given data. According to the given data, no need to apply almost all the 4 basic principal parts or both basic principal formulas to your given connecting rod every time. Read down the given problem, understand the problem, and apply whatever the necessary condition. That is sufficient. Okay, right. Now directly we move on to the problem, because it is very, very lengthy problem, right? So lengthy problem, so you try to understand step by step. Try to understand step by step. Okay, fine. So this is the problem that is available in your textbook, and very interesting problem and very easiest problem also. And one more thing, Amma, you please keep aside of your design procedure of your connecting rod, or at least data book, so that it is easy for you to understand what steps are we are following and whether it is available in data book or not. So those things you came to know while you are solving the problem. Right? If it is available, you please put a tick mark, so that it is easy for you to verify if you go through this particular problem. Right? So please, 2 things are important while you're solving the problem. First thing is, you please keep design procedure with you and data book also. Okay, fine. Right. Now thing is, so design a connecting rod. So problem is, design a connecting rod for an IC engine running at 1800 RPM and developing a maximum pressure of 3.15 Newton per mm square. The diameter of the piston is 100 mm. Mass of the reciprocating parts per cylinder is 2.25 kgs. Length of the connecting rod 380 mm. Stroke of the piston 190 mm. And compression ratio 6:1. Take a factor of safety of 6 for the design. Take length to diameter. Take length to diameter ratio for big end bearing is 1.3 and small end bearing is 2. And the corresponding bearing pressure is 10 Newton per mm square. Bearing pressure is 10 Newton per mm square. Right? And 15 Newton per mm square. The density of the material of the rod may be taken as 8000 kg meter cube, and the allowable stress in the bolt is 60 Newton per mm square and cap is 80 Newton per mm square. The rod is to be of I section, for which you can choose your own proportions. This is very, very important. The rod is to be of I section, for which you can choose your own proportions. Draw a neat dimension sketch showing provision for lubrication. Use Rankine's formula for which the numerator is constant, may be taken as 320 Newton per mm square, and the denominator is constant 1 by 7,500. So, so these are the given data actually we're having. So there is nothing to worry in the given problem. So given problem is simply they have mentioned these some standard proportions values. That is a simple thing, right? Here he is asked to design a connecting rod of an AC engine. That means everything is you are required to be find out here. He is not asking about the dimensions, or he is not asking about the what we call what are the dimensions of your crank pin or piston pin. Simply ask you to determine or design the dimensions, I mean design the connecting rod. So that is the first point. So after reading out of your given data or given particular problem, two things are very, very important for this particular problem before you proceeding to the next step. The first thing is, first and very, very important point is you require to design each and everything. Each and everything. That means first point to the fourth point. First point to the fourth point, you require to determine each and everything. So write down the formulas and you please try to determine the whatever the unknown parameters, and those unknown parameters are you are required to be determined. Next, second important point is here. Second important point is here. Somebody mic is on. You please put off your mic. Right. So second important point is for this given problem, especially directly they mention that in the given particular problem it is a standard I section. That means it is an I section. Right, you are having maybe you are using different types of cross section. It may be circular or rectangular also, but majority of the case you are only using I section. If it is mentioned, start no problem. 99% we are using I section, right? But the thing is, very important point is here, choose your own proportions. That is very, very important point. Here he is asked to choose your own proportions. Here we need a discussion regarding this point. We need discussion regarding this point. Still somebody mic is on. Please put off your mic. Right. Who is 305? Ellie. Ellie 305, please put off your mic. Right. The thing is here, choose your own proportions. Already I explained you are having a problem in your examination. I already mentioned that same thing in your previous class also. You can choose your own dimensions for this particular I section. Right. So it is difficult for you, so that you please remember these standard dimensions. I already very, very stressfully I mentioned in your previous class also, according to that particular dimension part, especially that particular dimension part, so that it is easy for you to calculate the moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis. Same thing will be applied here. Here he did not provide any dimensions of your cross section. He only said that the cross section is I section. Okay, Namma. So this is very, very important. The cross section is I section, and he did not mention any dimensions. You can choose your own dimensions. Now here it is a difficult part. What is the difficult part here is, if you remember the standard proportion, there is no worry. There is no worry. If at all you are having a problem, I mean remembering the dimensions, then there is no other way. You please simply directly choose your own values, and you can verify your values with respect to IXX and IYY. IXX and IYY. Those values should be within the range of 3 to 3.5. That is the verification, Amma. I hope you understand this point, Amma. Very, very important. You have to please pay attention regarding this particular point. One thing is, here it is I section, and you have to remember the dimensions. Already I provided in your last class. So B value equal to some 40 and H value equal to 5T. Right? So that is the standard dimensions you have to remember. Right? So if at all, if you forgot those values, right? If at all, if it is not available in your data book also, then there is no other way. Simply take your own dimensions and check with your dimensions with your standard proportions. That is IXX value and IY value ratio should be in between 3 to 3.5. There are only two methods. Okay, fine. So in order to avoid such difficulty, I asked you to remember the standard proportions dimensions. And I already mentioned that it is a very, very important step and lengthy step also in your examination point. Right? So that is the basic thing. And remaining things are just dimensions, some of the just standard specification they have mentioned, bearing pressure, right? Your what we call length of the connecting rod and factor of safety values and all those things those are the standard proportions that are required to be determined. So you please follow the step-by-step procedure what we have discussed earlier. That is sufficient, right? So this is the general introduction of your problem. I hope you understand, Amma. This is very, very important. Definitely you are having a question in your examination. Definitely chance of high, very, very high, especially in case of a connecting rod. I try to explain almost all the four, this problem covers almost all the 4 steps so that it is easy for you to understand. Okay. So this is the thing, Amma. Now you please open your what we call design procedure. Now you please open your design procedure and at least your data book, whatever it is, where you are having a design procedure. So what is your first step? That is important. First write down the given data. Okay, it is fine, no problem. What is the given data? And next you have to follow the design procedure. So what is your design procedure? That is important. Right. So we will move to the one by one, step by step. Right. Right. Here I provided some standard dimensions. I provided some standard dimensions. Right. Okay. Now you please keep aside of those dimensions and no problem because it is already available, right? So the thing is, first thing is you have to understand that what is the first step of your given design procedure of a connecting rod. What is the first step? Simply the first step is here you require to determine the dimensions of a connecting rod. That is your first step. You require to determine dimensions of a connecting rod, that is I section here. Cross section is I section. You try to determine the dimensions. Here we are having B equal to 40 and H equal to 5T. Likewise, we are having dimensions. That means we are having only one method, right? And by using, you are having, while we are discussing in your connecting rod procedure, I already explained that first you are having a buckling load that is sigma C into A by 1 plus A into Lx something by Kxx whole square, something like that you are having formula, right? So based on those formula, you try to apply whatever we discussed in the step 1 procedure as it is without any deviation. Without any deviation, you try to apply. Before we try to apply, you supposed to design your connecting rod by assuming that it is equally strong in about x-axis and y-axis. It is equally strong in x-axis and y-axis. What is the relation if it is equally strong in x-axis and y-axis? IXX equal to 4 times of the IYY. IXX equal to 4 times of the IYY. Then you have to check the proportions, IXX value and IYY value. Those values within the range of 3 to 3.5. Then only your design is correct. That means your design standard dimensions are correct. Right? That is B equal to 40 and H equal to 5T. Those specifications are correct. If at all, if your values are more than 3.5, then again you have to redesign your specifications. Redesign your dimensions. That is the basic point, Amma. So that is the reason why I asked in the last class, you please go through the engineering mechanics of strength of materials for calculation of your centroid and moment of inertia. In the examination also, you try to write down the centroid. Finding out centroid and moment of inertia is very, very important. There is no other way for finding out the value sum. Right? You have to determine. We have to determine. Right, fine. So these are the standard specifications. Right. So calculate the value of area. So this is the specifications we are having I section. So please note down the I section values and try to calculate as per your moment of inertia procedure. That is, first one is you are having a area. So calculation of area of different parts you are required to calculate. Right? Right. Then next thing is simply calculate the moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis, because here I am not bothering about the how you supposed to determine the moment of inertia, because you already know the procedure. You already know the procedure of what we call the moment of inertia. So that is the reason why I am not bothering about how you supposed to determine. I hope that you are already very much aware of that. How do you calculate the moment of inertia of different cross section, especially I section or T sections or different sections. Already you came across in your earlier classes. If at all, if you are having any problem regarding moment of inertia, you please go back to your engineering mechanics textbook. Then find out the procedure how you determine the moment of inertia value about x-axis and y-axis. So directly I am considering the values of ix and y here, right? So you please be practice yourself for moment of inertia purpose only, right? Here I am getting the value of Ixx value 419 by 12 t power 4. You please note down those values some at least in order for verification. In order to verification, you please note down the values. Ixx value is 419 by 12 t power 4 and Iyy value is 131 by 12. Iyy value is 131 by 12 t power 4 and Ixx value is 419 by 12 t power 4. These values are obtained based on your standard proportions, what I have given, what I already mentioned. Based on those dimensions, these are the value are obtained by applying the principle of moment of inertia about x-axis and moment of inertia about y-axis. So this is the initial step, Amma. This is the initial step. First, checking of your dimensions, whether it is right or wrong. That is your first step. Then only you have to calculate the buckling loads. Okay, Namma? Right. So here Ixx value is 419 by 12 t power 4 and Iyy value is 131 by 12 t power 4. Now check these ratios Ixx by Iyy. Why I am checking the ratios? Because these ratios are in between 3 to 3.5 only. Then only it is correct. Otherwise you have to change your dimensions. Otherwise you have to change your dimensions. Now check these values, Amma. Ixx value by Iyy. Moment of inertia about x-axis and moment of inertia about y-axis. Now you will get the value of 3.2. 3.2. 3.2. Right? So 3.2. Our safest value is in between 3 to 3.5. Our safest value is in between 3 to 3.5. So that your chosen proportions are satisfactory. You have to write down that particular statement, Amma. You have to write that particular statement. The chosen dimensions are satisfactory as it is in between 3 to 3.5. As it is in between 3 to 3.5, the chosen dimensions or selected dimensions or selected proportions are correct for I section. We have to mention that particular statement. Okay, Namma? So this is your initial step of your problem for a connecting rod. For a connecting rod especially. I hope you understand. Right, Amma? So first thing is, again I am repeating, Amma, the first thing is, please be careful, understand. If at all you are having any doubt, you please post your doubts on chat box, I will explain. Then only I have to move to the next step, Amma. The first thing is, draw the I section. Draw the I section means it is I section as usual of your moment of inertia problem. Select an I section. And the proportions are already mentioned, B equal to 410, H equal to 5T. The thickness are T. Now calculate the moment of inertia values as per your standard procedure. What we have already learned in your engineering mechanics. Everyone is came across engineering mechanics. And already you learn the process of your moment of inertia. Right? So try to calculate the moment of inertia value about x-axis and y-axis. About x-axis and y-axis. Now calculate the ratio values, Ixx value and Iyy value. And check the value. If it is in between 3 to 3.5, then your chosen proportions are right. If at all, if it is exceeding more than 3.5, then your procedure, your dimensions are wrong. Again, you have to check back your dimensions. Suppose in the examination, if at all, if you forget the value, if at all, if you forget the proportions, what is b equal to 410, h equal to 510, then take your own values, no problem. But it has to satisfy this step, last step, Ixx by Iyy value. It should be in between 3 to 3.5. It should be in between 3 to 3.5. If at all, if you forget the standard proportions. Otherwise, there is no issue. And if at all these dimensions are available in your data book, it is the happiest thing. If at all, this standard dimensions are available in your data book, right? So there is no issue, it is happiest thing. Directly you can calculate the moment of inertia values. Definitely it satisfy the value, no worries. Just simply have to write on the statement. The standard, the selected proportions are satisfies, so that the dimensions are satisfactory. Right? Likewise, you have to mention the dimensions are satisfactory. Okay, Namma. So this is very, very important point and very, very important step. Okay, hope you understand this particular step. Right. Now next. Now here the connecting rod is designed by taking the force on the connecting rod equal to the maximum force on the piston. Maximum force on the piston due to gas pressure. So that simply have to, already we are having a term in gas pressure, Amma. Especially please observe the design procedure. Again I am saying that please put aside of your design procedure of a connecting rod. Then only you can easily understand the terminology. For buckling load calculation, we are having WB equal to maximum gas pressure or something into factor of safety formula we are having. So that gas pressure can be calculated here. The connecting rod is designed by taking the force on the connecting rod, which is equal to the maximum force on the piston due to gas pressure. So simply you have to equate pi over 4 d square into pressure value. So diameter value is already given, pressure value is given, that is 3.15. So the value is 24740 newtons. The value is 24740 newtons. Right? Now directly you can use the Rankins formula. Suppose if you are having Rankins formula, directly go for Rankins formula. Before that you can calculate, already mentioned that you are having buckling load calculation. Buckling load calculation means bearing pressure into factor of safety. Factor of safety value is already given, that is 6. Right? And maximum gas pressure value is 24740 newtons. Right? That is 148,440 newtons. Right? Right. Now to directly apply the Rankins formula, buckling load by using Rankins formula. What is the Rankins formula you are having? Right. So you are having a Rankins formula. WB equal to sigma C into A by 1 plus A into L by Kx square. Right. So sigma C value and A value, area is the area of the cross section, and A is the constant, and L is equal to, you have to assume that both ends are hinged, that equal L equal to L. And Kx is the radius of gyration. Radius of gyration, how you supposed to calculate? So this is the step. So here Kx value. See, Kx equal to radius of gyration, Kx equal to square root of Ixx by A. Right? Already this formula we came across, and already we discussed in the design procedure also. Already we explained in design procedure also. So Kx value equal to 1.78 T. Kx value equal to 1.78 T. Now simply substitute in the given relation. Right? So substitute in the given relation. So sigma C equal to 320 megapascal and constant A value equal to 1 by 7500. please substitute in this ratio, in this relation, sigma c into a by 1 plus a into L by kx square. Right? I hope there is no doubt, Amma, because this formula is already existing formula. By simply I am using the Rankins formula. I am applying a Rankins formula and I am substituting the values what I have given in your problem as easily. As easily I am substituting the relation. Already almost all the terminologies are, almost all the terminologies are already very well known terminologies. So no need to bother about those terminologies. Directly you can substitute the values whatever we are having in the given data. Right? Okay, fine. Now you calculate your, substitute your values as easily, then you will get t value. Then you will get t value, that is 7 mm. T value is 7 mm. Right? By substituting almost all the relations and all the given data in the given formula, then you will get t equal to 7 mm. Right? So this you have ended your first step on, because this is the only thing we required, because almost all the dimensions are in terms of t. B equal to some 40 and h equal to 5t. If you know the t value, it is easy for you to substitute in the given notations as easily. Till now, those who are having any doubt, you please raise your doubt on your chat box. I will clear itself, Amma, because this is very, very important step. Next steps are very, very small steps. Directly you can apply the formula, you will get the answer. But this step is very, very important in the examination point of view also, because it is a lengthy step. If you completed perfectly this step, Amma, then it is easy for you for proceeding the next step. Next steps are direct applying the formulas. Here also we are applying formula, but thing is choosing proportions or all those things are somewhat lengthy, somewhat lengthy. Remaining things are just simple formulas. Just go through the step by step what I have explained till now. Right? And if you have any doubt, you please raise your doubt on the chat box. I will clarify now itself. I will clarify now itself, because up to this point, up to thickness, your procedure of the first step is end. Remaining thing is just simply substitution. B equal to 410, H equal to 5t. Then you'll get the answer. There is no problem. If you have any doubt regarding of this step, you please ask your doubt. Otherwise, I supposed to ask question. I pick someone and definitely I will ask some questions regarding of these steps, because I'm having my doubts regarding of these steps. There is no doubt. Okay. Okay, fine. That definitely I will choose one person. Let me guess one number. Okay. Number 26, Pawan Kalyan. Number 26, Pawan Kalyan. Number
Yes,
26, Sunama.
yes, sir.
26. Okay. Yes, I am having a small doubt regarding of this particular procedure. I hope you understand the entire procedure up till now.
Yes, sir. Somewhat, sir.
Somewhat. Okay, right. No problem. See, equation, this is just the equation. You have to convert the equation. Just simply solve the equation, then you will get the answer, Amma. Just follow the procedure. So how you supposed to convert it is simplifying the equation. Simplifying the equation.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
So my doubt is, Amma, why I am considering Ixx value equal to 4 times of the Iyy. because I already explained the design procedure while you're solving the problem especially. I consider that Ixx value equal to 4 times of the Iyy. Why I have choose those value?
Sir, both ends are hinged, sir.
These L values, you can say that both ends are hinged, no problem. That is correct answer. I am asking about Ixx value equal to 4 times of the Iyy, right? So I mentioned that particular statement. Why I have mentioned that particular statement Ixx equal to 4 times of the Iyy? Right, very good.
Sir, both are equal, sir.
Answering that the connecting rod is equally strong in about x-axis and y-axis. So that is the correct answer, Amma. Okay, very good. Fine, fine. Right. So at least some of you are following my problem. So it is the happiest thing. Okay, fine. Okay, Amma. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you for your response. Thank you for your response. Right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, okay. So, so that Amma, this is very, very important step. If at all, if you are not understanding, Amma, please let me know. It is easy for me. It is easy for me for proceeding the next steps, Amma. The first step takes more time in your examination also. See, in the examination also, I'm clearly explaining. In the examination also, first thing is you write down the dimensions of your I section and calculate the moment of inertia first. Calculate the moment of inertia, because you try to provide those dimensions are satisfactory, then only you can go for the buckling load calculations, right? If at all these values are failure ones, then you cannot proceed for buckling load. You please mention this point, Amma. You please remember this point. Okay, so that plus draw the I section. Draw the means simply take an I section and note down the dimensions. Some b equal to 410, h equal to 5 to the standard dimensions, and calculate the moment of inertia and get the values of t. And get the values of t and get the values of Ixx value and Iy value and check the proportions. Then only you have to move for the further calculations. Right? Okay, fine. So this is how up to the value of thickness value equal to 7 mm. Then simply you can substitute dimensions of the I section of the connecting rod. I already consider the standard proportions b equal to 4t and h equal to 5t. So wherever you are having t value, you simply substitute. I mean, whenever you find the t notation, please substitute those t value as easily and get the answer. This is the easiest part. Once if you know the answer of t, it is easy for you to substitute. Right? Wherever you find the value of t, please substitute this t value as easily. Okay, Rama. This is very, very interesting and very, very easiest thing. Right. So somebody is mic is on. You please put off your mic. Right. Next thing is it is second point already you are having in your design procedure. What is your design procedure? Second point, that is the dimension of your crank pin and piston pin. That is dimension of the crank pin or the big end. This is also very, very important, Amma. Terminology is very, very important. Dimensions of the crank pin are big end and dimensions of the piston pin are small end bearing. Sometimes they mention that crank pin and piston pin. Sometimes they mention that big end bearing and small end bearing. Sometimes they are mentioning that big end bearing and small end bearing. Right? You please understand the terminology also. Okay? Right. Already in the second step, dimension of the crank pin and piston pin. What are the terminologies you are having? Crank pin LC, diameter of the, length of the crank pin and diameter of the crank pin and bearing pressure of the crank pin. Similarly, length of the piston pin, diameter of the piston pin and bearing pressure that are acting on your piston pin. Only these 6 are the criteria. And you have to equate your bearing pressure or something like that. You are having some equation. So you have to equate out those terminologies and you will get your desired result, especially in your second step. You please follow the second step what I explained in your design procedure, same as it is. Follow the design procedure, that is enough. There is no deviation. There is no deviation in the equation, or there is no deviation in any other part. Just simply copy paste of your design procedure. If you understand the design procedure, this problem is easy. Copy paste problem, simply saying that. It is a copy paste problem. Know the design procedure and substitute the values. That is the only thing. Right. So first thing is, right, first you're supposed to calculate the load acting on the crank pin. First you're supposed to calculate the load acting on the crank pin. So how are you supposed to calculate the load? So pressure into area, bearing pressure into area. Right. So bearing pressure value is already mentioned. Bearing pressure value. Now you're supposed to calculate what we call length. So length value will be 1.3 times of the diameter of the crank pin. 1.3 times of the diameter of the crank pin, so that your value will be in terms of D. Your value will be in terms of DC. Your value will be in terms of DC. Right? Now same process will be repeated for your piston pin also. Same piston pin, load acting on the piston pin. Load acting on the piston pin. Load acting on the piston pin means dP into LP into PBP. Same procedure for crank pin and piston pin. For a crank pin, you can calculate DC, LC and PBC. For piston pin, instead of C, you are having P, DP, LP and PVP. Right? So no need to remember or no need to anything. Just simply instead of crank pin means your notation is C. Piston pin means your notation is P. That is the only difference. Right? Now you have to calculate the load. So load means already you are having a gas pressure loading condition. We already calculated the initial step. Right? So please equating of those steps summa 24740 equal to 13 DC square. Right? Maximum gas force we already calculated the initial step. At the beginning of the step we calculated the maximum gas force. Pi by 4 D square into P or something calculated. You will get the value of 24740 newtons. Same gas pressure force equal to your load acting on the crank pin. Then you get the value of DC 43.6 mm. So as per your convenience you can consider 44. You can consider 44. Similarly you can go for the what we called piston pin dimensions. Piston pin dimension means DP, LP and bearing pressure acting on the piston pin. So calculate as usual load acting on the piston pin. Load value will be 30 dP square. Now equating up with your gas pressure, you will get the value of your dimensions of the crank pin and piston pin. So this is, I hope it is a very easiest step. First thing is length of the crank pin, dimensions, length of the crank pin, diameter of the crank pin and bearing pressure acting on the crank pin. Next, length of the piston pin, diameter of the piston pin and bearing pressure acting on the piston pin. Now equating the, calculate the load acting on the crank pin and load acting on the piston pin and equating those loads to the maximum gas force, which is already calculated in your earlier step. Right? So just equating of those steps, you will get the answer directly. You will get the answer directly. Right? And one more point over here. One more point. Suppose if at all your length of the crank pin or diameter of the crank pin, if those two things are unknown, then you please follow the standard notation value summa. If at all if it is not mentioned in your given problem, suppose if it is not mentioned length of the crank pin or length of the piston pin or something, then I already mentioned your design procedure, you can consider within those range. You can consider within those range values. I already mentioned in your previous design procedure. You please follow the design procedure, then consider those values accordingly. Consider those values accordingly. If at all, if it is not provided in your problem, if at all, if it is not provided in your problem, you please follow the standard values of your design. Okay. So this is where you are having the second point, Amma. This is you are having the second point. So only dimensions, dimension of the crank pin and piston pin. Right? Right. So now my question is, how many of you are follow the design procedure right now? in your data book or at least in your textbook or something. How many of you are following the design procedure as easily what I am explained here? And did you find any difficulty or did you find any deviation? Did you find any deviation? What I have explained for the design process and what I am solving the problem here. Okay, are you understand my question? So how many of you are following right now? I mean, how many of you are having with you the design procedure or at least data book? No problem, right? Is there any deviation with respect to design procedure and the problem what I am explaining here? Right. So is there any change in, change in the pattern of design procedure to your problem? Or you find any changes? I hope there is no changes, Amma, because I'm exactly following the design procedure what I explained. Because these are the standard procedures. There is no deviations, Amma. There is no changes also. You have to strictly follow those procedures as easily. So that is the reason why I ask you to please keep aside of your design procedure, at least design data book. How many of you are observing design data book, Amma? How many of you are observing design data book? In your data book, all these values are available or not? How many of you are following design data book right now? Right now. How many of you are following the data book? Because all the design procedures are available in your data book. Same as easily. So if at all, if you are not having a data book command, then again and again I am saying there is no use of listening this particular problem. And there is no use of practicing also, because without data book you cannot practice the problems. See, it is very, very difficult part, especially for this subject, Amma. It is a very difficult part for this particular subject, because if you find the answers, it is very exciting for you. Because already all the things are available in data book, so that it is easy for you. What I'm explaining here, what is bearing pressure, what is a piston pin or crank pin or some other terminology, whatever. If you find the answers, it is easy for you. If at all, if you are not following, then there is no use, because it is simply I'm reading out my problem and my own way. Right? So again and again, I'm repeating, you please follow the data book, the specified data book I already mentioned earlier. If at all those textbooks are not available, at least try to what we called collect your data book as per your whatever the author it is, whoever the author it is, no problem. If at all standard authors are not available, no problem. But at least you are having data book with you. Right? So this is my appealing to all the students, some very, very important thing. Please don't get what we called tense regarding of the subjects, and without having data book, it is very, very difficult thing I already mentioned. Don't get complicated, Amma. Don't make you this particular subject as complicated subject. Right? This is very, very easiest subject. Just already mentioned again and again, it is copy paste exam. Copy paste exam. Once if you are having data book with you. Right? Or at least if you are not having if you have any problem regarding of data books, at least you follow the textbook, or at least you follow the design procedure what I explained, because those things are as easily same procedures, right? So we complicate chesukodamma things weitni kuda. Again and I am repeating, my sincere request is don't get complicated these things. It is the easiest subject once if you are having textbook, or once you are having with you. Textbooks already I provided textbook of Bandari and RS Kurmi. So what is the problem? There is no issue. Right? Please follow at least one textbook, whatever, it's your choice. Is RS Kurmi or Bandari, no problem. Right? So please be follow and please be very attention regarding of this particular subject, amma, regarding this particular notations or terminology. Then only you can easily understand, you can easily apply those principles to a particular problem. I hope you understand, amma, the situation is. Right? So మీకు మీరే కాంప్లికేట్ మాత్రం చేసుకోవద్దు, మీకు మీరు కాంప్లికేట్ చేసుకోవద్దు. So some because see, I also tried so many number of data books. I found that McGraw-Hill textbook. McGraw-Hill textbook already just simply up to sliding contact bearing and rolling contact bearings. I already circulated you also by what we called by making at a whatever the information we require on the particular part only. I send it, right? So only McGraw-Hill textbooks are available, design data books are available, right? So if at all, if there is no chance, you please try to purchase, there is no option. Or if at all college is opening, you try to bring off your books by, by having with your library cards, right? So there is no option we are having, no other option we are having, right? At least you try to purchase, right? So that is the thing. Or at least try to those who are having data book, you please make a screenshots and circulate among your friends, if you are having any data book with you. At least that particular part, please circulate among with yourself, among your students. It is easy for you. So my problem is, because why I am saying that different others means because nobody strictly having one textbook, definitely it is not possible also, and the notations are also not same. That is the reason you will get confused. So that is the reason why I ask you to please follow the data book. At least you know the notations, you know the equations. Then it is easy for you to apply those principles in the examination. So without identification is very, very important. If you identify the correct relation, your problem is over, because it is copy paste as easily. My request is like that only, right? In order to make you to identify that particular relation, in order to make you to identify that particular notation and relation, that is very, very important, right? So things you please don't make the things are complicated. Easiest subject for your, at least for your academic year, for your academic throughout your 4 years, this is one of the easiest subject. And at least your remaining subjects also are having data books. But thing is, allow the data books in remaining subjects also. But here it is, everything is available in data book. Everything is available. Just simply copy paste from your data book. So that is the reason every class I am saying, please be having with your data book, or at least purchase your data book, or some in your what we call in your net, some you are having just browsing on your Google, you will get some rented books also are available. At least try to rent if you're not able to purchase those textbooks, right? So these are the options we are having. These are the only options we are having, right? And after having of this class, you please follow the at least textbook of your RS Kurmi, the design procedure, and you please apply these principles to your that particular problem what I explained here. Then you can easily understand what I am saying here. Okay, so these 2 steps are very, very important steps. Next 2 steps we can further proceed in the next class, right? And is there any problem regarding if you are connecting that? You please ask your questions on the next class, at least. Okay, right? So thanks, thanks for your patience. Thank you very much.